On this episode of Formula World, Magnussen, suck my balls. Alonso, fastest Kamikaze. Vettel apologises to much faster Raikkonen. Verstappen, effing sore loser. Hamilton keeps promise. A major talking point of the Hungarian Grand Prix came after the race between Nico Hulkenberg and Kevin Magnussen. During the race, Hulkenberg was overtaking Magnussen around the outside of Turn 2 when he was forced off the track by the Haas driver, who subsequently received a 5-second penalty from the stewards. It was post-race when the drama ensued when Hulkenberg approached Magnussen during an interview and calling him out for his unsporting behaviour. Magnussen's response, seemingly inspired by South Park, has since gone viral.
Yeah, han prøver på yderbanen. Once again, most unsportive driver of the grid. Suck my balls, mate. Yeah, you're really good, man.
Hulkenberg was interviewed shortly after the verbal altercation and had this to say. I congratulated him for being the most unsporting driver of the whole grid once again. When it comes to racing, he's just nasty. Defending is fine, but when he does this, it's just ruthless and sending people into the wall. What he did there, opening up the steering, making me run wide, it's just being an asshole basically. The drama actually started on lap 1 of the Grand Prix when Hulkenberg had a slight run-in with Magnussen's teammate Romain Grosjean, which the stewards decided no disciplinary action was needed. At that point, however, Magnussen got on the team radio calling out Hulkenberg. If you can do what Hulkenberg did to Romain, then it's going to be a dirty race. Haas team boss Gunther Steiner defended his driver's actions, stating that Hulkenberg is a bully and got what he deserved. Hulkenberg is a bully and he got away a long time with it, and maybe now it's time that somebody stands up to him. He's a good driver, he doesn't need to be like this. Alonso, fastest Kamikaze. Fernando Alonso was the fastest man in Budapest this year, earning the fastest lap of the race. There was no secret that the Hungaroring presented the best chance for McLaren to score points and perform well, as it's not an overly power-dominant circuit. But finishing P6 and going quickest was a surprise for even Alonso, who had the following to say about it. The fastest lap is a surprise, no doubt. P6, we were hoping for 7th or 8th, so 6 was possible and we took it. We know there are 3 or 4 weekends where we will feel and be competitive, so we need to maximise those. 6th was the best result possible. Fastest lap is a gift and we will take it. When talking about his battle with countryman Carlos Sainz, Alonso admitted it took some daring manoeuvres to make the overtake stick. It was close with Carlos. After the pits, I knew I had 2 laps where I could really push on the new tyre. I did some kamikaze moves at times, but I had to try. It worked fine, but Carlos did an amazing job again. Vettel apologises to much faster Kimi Raikkonen. Sebastian Vettel secured the win in Budapest, but it wasn't without fault, despite essentially leading from the start of the race. Vettel admitted that he was holding up his teammate due to an issue with his own steering wheel and apologised after the race. Here's what he had to say. It was a tough race that in the end kept a good shape. I developed a problem with the steering wheel and I don't know why yet. Everybody inside the team can be very happy and proud of what we have done today. Kimi had good pace and could go a lot faster than me for the majority of the race. Afterwards, I said to Kimi that I was sorry because I was slow and struggling during the race. For Kimi, it was not good to be there in the middle of a sandwich. Kimi Raikkonen, who still managed to finish second behind his teammate after following him for the entire race, was clearly frustrated but ended up being okay with the result. The whole race, basically, I followed Sebastian hoping that he goes as fast as he can, but not saving tyres because then there was a Mercedes catching me. Once you're in the middle, it's a bit awkward place. I must say the car was great today. I was just basically following my own rear wing. Obviously I want to win, but great for the team. Verstappen, effing sore loser. Red Bull looked very promising the whole weekend in Hungary, and during the race it became clear they had genuine pace. But it was not to be for Daniel Ricciardo, who was taken out by his teammate during the second corner of the race. Ricciardo was livid when he realised it was his own teammate who caused his retirement, calling him an effing sore loser over the team radio. Ricciardo had more to say after the race. That was amateur to say the least. It's not like he was trying to pass. He doesn't like people passing him. It's just frustrating. It was not even an overtaking move. It was an emotional response. Inexperience is too kind. It was just immaturity. Let's see if he acts his age or like a man about it and admits the error. but if he starts bringing in other excuses, then we will have a problem. Max Verstappen owned the blame and apologised after the race, but admits that it will take some talking in private to sort out. Of course, it's never my intention to hit anyone, especially not my teammate, especially with the relationship I have with Daniel. It's always very good and we can always have a laugh. I think before we have shown we can race very well together, so this is not nice and I apologise to Daniel and to the team. I'll speak to Daniel in private and we'll sort it out. Red Bull team boss Christian Horner, although frustrated with what could have been, believes that after the apology, Daniel will accept it and that they can begin to move on. Max admitted the mistake and we accept it. I'm sure Daniel will accept it too. They have a great relationship, they respect each other. Hamilton keeps promise. The 2017 Hungarian Grand Prix was full of talking points and one that maybe goes against the grain of expectations. Early during the race, Hamilton had no radio communication to his team and therefore couldn't express his position to the pit wall. But he wasted no time filling them in when he regained communication with around 25 laps to go. Hamilton pushed for permission to let him in front of his teammate Valtteri Bottas on the proviso he would give it back if he couldn't overtake Kimi Raikkonen. As the laps went on, the gap between Hamilton and Bottas grew, but with no clear chance at making a pass on Kimi, it looked as if Hamilton might not give the place back to Bottas. It wasn't until the final corner of the final lap that Hamilton timed the release of his teammate, giving him the final place on the podium. After the race, Hamilton had this to say: "I want to win the championship the right way, and I don't know whether that will come back to bite me on the backside or not. I think today really shows, hopefully, that I am a man of my word. I am just as much a part of this team as anyone, and I think we're working together better than we ever had. In life, you do good things, and good things come back round to you." Bottas admits he was worried that Hamilton wasn't going to keep his promise, but was thankful after the race that he did. "In the end, I was getting a little bit worried as the gap was increasing. I really struggled with the back markers today. Really thanks to Lewis to keep the promise and let me by in the end, because I gave him the shot to try and get past the Ferraris. It's a shame, we had good pace in the end today, but with the starting positions we couldn't finish any better." Many people have pointed out the fact that this gesture from Mercedes could have potentially detrimental effects later on in the championship. But Mercedes boss Toto Wolff has stood his ground, saying the way you win a championship and conduct yourself is more important in the long run. "It cost us 3 points and potentially the championship. We are perfectly conscious about that. Nevertheless, this is how the drivers and the team operate. We stick to what we say, and if the consequences are as much as losing the championship, we take it. Long term, we will be winning much more races and championships with that approach than doing it the other way around." Who's in the wrong, Magnussen or Hulkenberg? And should Hamilton have let Bottas through? Let me know what you think in the comments. And if you like this video, feel free to subscribe and check out my other videos for all the latest in the world of Formula 1.